radio television experience. So go on Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Don't forget to also drop your comments, like, share, and all that. You can also catch us on YouTube at Eagles TV Abuja. And be sure to subscribe, be sure to like our videos, and also drop your comment. It's time for newspaper headlines. Yes, of course, it's time for newspaper headlines, the one you also call the pages. But before we go straight into the headlines from the front pages of the Nigerian dailies, of course, let's quickly give you a summary of some of the trending stories for today. All right, quickly, I want you to know that Prince Ademola Adeniyi, you remember this particular man? Prince Ademola Adeniyi, the purported Director General of the the controversial Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council (PFIPC), says he does not have confidence in the probe of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC). Adeniyi said this when he featured on television on Monday. Adeniyi says he does not trust the probe investigation of the ICPC. He made mention of a switched payment for the to US dollar. Wow. The new policy, which took effect immediately, applies to both gantry and coastal product sales. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has switched the payment. It is not in naira anymore. It's been switched to the US dollar. Okay. What's the effect of that particular one there? Perhaps in time to come, I will definitely know. Also, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed the April 29 judgment. Independent appointee. You know, we have the ADC being factionalized, and we've been having litigations left, right, and different places in the African Democratic Congress. We hope perhaps they come out of this particular one. But let's move on to this one. Recalling the last days of former President Muhammadu Buhari at a London hospital last year, Vice President Kashim Shettima said he wept, saying that life was ebbing out of the late leader. Speaking at the one-year remembrance event on Monday, Shettima said President is ill. President Buhari, late former President Muhammadu Buhari. So that was where Kashim Shettima made that particular statement. Let's move on to this next one. A torrential downpour on Monday brought commercial activities to a halt in several parts of Lagos as widespread flooding submerged vehicles, left motorists and commuters stranded, and triggered severe traffic across major roads. The worst hit areas included Ikoyi, left many vehicles partially submerged. Unfortunate. All right, the Miyetti Alakatu Breeders Association of Nigeria, Benue State Chapter, has distanced its members from the attack and killing of innocent people in Otukpo local government area of the state. The attack, which occurred in the early hours of Sunday, reportedly claimed about 16 lives. 16 lives were lost as a result of an attack on innocent people in Otukpo local government area of the state. May the soul rest in peace. That's so unfortunate, especially what's been happening in Benue State for a while now, between herders and of course the people of Benue State. But let's move on to this next one. Imo State Police Command has launched a manhunt for a man accused of murdering his wife inside a church in Owerri North local government area before fleeing with two of their three children and abandoning his suckling baby beside her lifeless body. Okay. The woman's body was reportedly discovered on Monday morning after neighbors, alarmed by the persistent cries of the infant, traced the sound to the church premises. A man killed his wife, cut away with three of his children or of their children, and left their baby with the lifeless body of the woman. Wow. All right, this particular one says Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has called for economic sanctions and visa bans against opposition leaders in the state, accusing them of aiding and abating political violence in the state ahead of the August 15 governorship election. Adeleke made the call on Monday while receiving a delegation of the British government on a pre-election peace-building mission to Osun State. The naira on Monday depreciated to 1,420 naira per dollar in the parallel market from 1,406 naira per dollar last weekend. But the naira appreciated to 1,380.5 naira per dollar in the Nigerian foreign exchange market, NFM. All right, our Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has called for independent scrutiny of the May 14 abduction of children and teachers from Ahore, Sinle, and Yawoto communities in Orire local government area of the state. Makinde made the call in a statewide broadcast on Monday in Ibadan, shortly after he received 44 children and teachers recently rescued from bandits. All right, that's to say investigations are still ongoing, according to the governor of Oyo State, especially for what happened on May 14, when children, pupils, and teachers were abducted, kidnapped at Orire local government area of the state. All right, so without wasting much of our time, quickly, let's move on to the front pages of our newspapers this morning as you get ready to join in the conversation. All right, so quickly, we're going to start with the Tribune newspaper this morning. We're starting with the Nigerian Tribune newspaper for the big story here. We have this particular one. Makinde calls on United Nations orders to probe Orire abduction. Makinde calls on United Nations orders to probe Orire abduction. Just what we just talked about not too long ago. And for the riders here, assures rescue teachers, school children of support throughout recovery period. And for this other one, thanks Tinubu, commend security agencies, Amotekun and local hunters. This particular story, the big story, you will find on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, just above the big story there, Senate reps set for harmonization of state police bill. Senate reps set for harmonization of state police bill. And for the rider here, constitute ad hoc committee on insertion of controversial PFIPC budget into 2026 appropriation bill. All right, so moving on, that particular one, by the way, is on page 2. Let's move on to page 15. Appeal court restrains INEC from recognizing MAC-led ADC congresses. Wow, the MAC-led ADC is definitely in trouble for this one. Appeal court restrains INEC from recognizing MAC-led ADC congresses. And for the riders here, the first one says ADC appeals ruling says it's legally unsustainable. ADC appeals that particular ruling, says it's illegally unsustainable. Verdict doesn't affect our primaries, Atiku says. Verdict doesn't affect our primaries. That one is coming from Atiku. That story you'll find on page 15. All right, still on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Nigeria faces renewed crude output pressures as oil prices rise above budget benchmark. That's on page 7. Nigeria faces renewed crude output pressures as oil prices rise above budget benchmark. That's on page 7. That's to probably say the prices of oil products might get to, I don't know. But let's move on to page 5. Federal government suspends proposed WAEC NECO fees hike. Okay, this story has been trending since yesterday, especially after when a leaked memo came out that the federal government has increased the fees of WAEC and NECO. But from what we're hearing right now, the federal government has suspended the proposed WAEC and NECO fees hike. That's on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. On page 2, Senate investigates 34 trillion naira import waivers by the federal government. Senate investigates 34 trillion naira import waivers by federal government. That's on page 2. All right, for this one on page 3, GOC gives blow-by-blow account of rescue operation. GOC, General Office Commanding, gives blow-by-blow account of rescue operation. Now, from what the GOC is saying here, he said there were occasions when we tracked suspects and alerted the Commissioner of Police. They arrested them immediately, and helicopters flew some of them into the forest to assist with intelligence that led us to the terrorist camps. All right, so that one is coming from the GOC after the rescue operation being conducted. All right, so that's on page 3. That particular story is on page 3. Still on page 3, Orire Principal recounts ordeal. Orire Principal recounts ordeal. That's on page 3. All right, on page 15 of the Tribune newspaper, Oyo APC stakeholders await Tinubu's intervention over party crisis. Oyo APC stakeholders await Tinubu's intervention over party crisis. That story is on page 15. And the Nigerian Tribune picked this particular one on health. Staying fit may help you stay calm under pressure and under stress. Staying fit may help you stay calm under stress and pressure. Study reveals. That's on page 2. So if you're staying fit, if you're taking your exercises serious, of course, stress might be far away from you. All right, so that's what that study is saying on the Nigerian Tribune. Let's move on to the next newspaper this morning. All right, this one is on the Nation newspaper. And for the big story, Principal, kidnappers beat up pupils and chained teachers. Principal says kidnappers beat up pupils, and that's the student, and chained the teachers. How the operation went by GOC, marking this 6th probe. The stories can be found on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. All right, 4 siblings, man, die in Cross River landslide. 4 siblings and man die in Cross River landslide. That's on page 27. Still on page 27, terrorist supplier arrested. Terrorist supplier arrested. Good one. That's a good one. All right, on the Nation newspaper, we still have this one here. Appeal court to INEC. Don't recognize ADC congresses by Macklin. Appeal court is telling INEC, do not congresses by Macklin NWC. All right, the party heads for Supreme Court. Of course, the party heads for Supreme Court to appeal that particular judgment. Article says judgment won't affect my candidacy. The judgment won't affect my candidacy, says article. That story is on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. All right, forgery charge. Adeyemi may not appear in court. Forgery charge. Adeyemi may not appear in court. Fake agency chief alleges threat to life. 6 independent probe. Fake agency chief alleges threat to life. 6 independent probe. That's on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Moving on, still on page 7. Shettima, that's the kicker. Shettima, I wept at Buhari's bedside in his last moment. I wept at Buhari's bedside in his last moment. All right, page 7, still and still. Discourse, kick against NERC's CapEx account order. All right, I'm moving on to page 6. Court rejects Showere's request for long adjournment. Court rejects Showere's request for long adjournment. OPEC predicts positive economic outlook for Nigeria. That's on page 8. OPEC predicts positive economic outlook for Nigeria. All right, on the trending story, federal government reverses WAEC, NECO registration fees hike. Federal government reverses WAEC, NECO registration fees hike. That's on page. You remember yesterday when we talked about it and we said that the price, the registration fee for WAEC and NECO was increased from 30,000 naira and 27,000 naira to about 50,000 naira. Now that particular order has been suspended. All right, Vanguard newspaper has the stories for us. Quickly, let's take on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Orire abduction. Children were beaten. Teachers were chained. Children were beaten. Teachers were chained, says Alamu, the principal. And for the riders, says we were forced to trek through forest at night. They ate cocoyam noodles, drank from a waterfall for 56 days. Victim's relative says they ate cocoyam noodles, drank from a waterfall for 56 days. Victim's relative. Initial operation that led to security agents and death. Sources. Initial operation that led to security agents and of course death. Sources. Victims hidden inside a cave close to waterfall. Victims hidden inside a cave close to waterfall. And of course, Makinde 6 United Nations probe into abduction. That's on page 11. Makinde 6 United Nations probe into abduction. Alright, moving on still this morning on Vanguard newspaper. Economy exits contraction, but households remain pessimistic, says CBN. Economy exits contraction, but households remain pessimistic. That's on page 19. On page 9 quickly, Atiku will be excited as federal government suspend planned increase in WAEC NECO registration fee. On page 8 quickly, Strait of Hormuz, US to reinstate Iranian port blockade, impose 20% passage fees. Strait of Hormuz, United States reinstate Iranian port blockade, impose 20% passage fees. Wow. Now Donald Trump is saying a 20% passage fees will be imposed on countries who depend on the Strait of Hormuz. That's like saying they will be taxed. Now, according to Donald Trump, he's saying the United States have been protecting, the Strait of Hormuz for years without compensation. That it is time they start collecting compensation for the Strait of Hormuz. Now, according to information, that might also affect, fuel price. And of course, let's see how it goes. That's on page 8. Still on page 8, Discos push back against NERC's fresh order on revenue utilization. Discos push back against NERC's fresh order on revenue utilization. That's on page 8. Appeal Court affirms order barring INEC from recognizing Mark's leadership. Appeal Court affirms order barring INEC from recognizing Mark's leadership. That's on page 5. And for the riders, judgment won't affect ADC candidate. Party insists. Atiku heads to Supreme Court. Insists ADC's ticket intact despite court ruling on congresses. How police uncovered fictitious PFIPC. How the police uncovered fictitious PFIPC document. That's on pages 9 and 28. I borrowed 400 million naira to secure PFIPC appointment, says Adeyemi. Wow. Alright, this story is still all over there. Alright, let's move on to page 27. Buhari's first anniversary. Tinubu Gowon, governors, minister pay tribute. Buhari's first anniversary. Tinubu Gowon, governors, ministers pay tribute. Alright, on page 21, when flood waters recede, health crisis begins. Physicians warn. Alright, so quickly, it's about time that we begin to pick calls. It's about time that we start picking calls quickly. So we react to the stories from our Nigerian dailies. The numbers to call is 090-7353-0044 or 0908-766-8888, and that's still the WhatsApp number. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Omati.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Your name and your location.
Yeah, I greet you.
I greet you too, sir.
Okusmana, calling for football.
All right, we can hear you.
It's about. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. It's about ADC and David Mark. Yeah. The issue is that the ruling class, they don't want opposition in this country. Yes. they want to bring down the opposition so that they can start. But I think Nigerians and God will not allow them to, to succeed.
So are you saying is the ruling party that is probably orchestrating what the African Democratic Congress is facing right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They don't want opposition. They don't want opposition. But Nigerians will resist it. Yes. They can't succeed. The issue of celebrating Buhari 1 year in office. Yeah.
It is not celebrating Buhari's 1 year in office. It's the anniversary of the late.
1 year date anniversary.
All right.
Yes, 1 year. Yes. Sorry for that. I don't know that Nigeria can celebrate a failure. A government that brought Nigeria.
Why don't we just have respect for the dead sometimes? Come on, this man is dead already.
My brother, what Nigeria passing through, that's what NPC and Buhari brought for us. And they hand over to him. So they are celebrating failure. Someone die and go to hellfire. And
no, please. I know you're trying to be a but no, please. You can't say that. You are not God. You are not God. Please withdraw that statement.
Okay, I will do. But the issue is that Buhari have failed. There's no need for we to celebrate him. Have a nice celebration. God bless you.
All right, and God bless you too. Please, let's be careful with some of the things that we say, especially when talking about the dead. Please. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and location. You're welcome.
Yes, Abubakar for Sulejan. I greet every corner and every listener, and Mr. Yudi, I don't know where he started. I also greet him. I also greet all your colleagues.
Thank you.
Mr. Yudi.
This is a motive.
Yes. Yes. How those children were punished by those criminals, bad enemies, and how the system also were changed. Then we have a member of House of Representatives. We have the senator who represented this constituency. And you look at the school that children are attending in Abuja here. Why can't they relocate to the village to go and see what the common person is passing through in their constituency? We are talking about president. Governor is the chief security officer in his own state. What of the security vote, the money for security vote? We are talking about president. President cannot be in everywhere. That is why we have local government chairman, councillor, and the rest in the government in the state to look into activity in the state. What are we talking about? Those people, they have faith. Politicians have failed us woefully. All of them, we should look for alternatives how to do with them in 2027. They have failed us. So look at the young ministry now, the young electorate that we just passed away because of we want to sacrifice his nature. We want to sacrifice nature. Member of House of Reps, they are in Abuja here, dancing and going to parties everywhere, going to occasion everywhere in Abuja here. All of them we saw there. When there's a time of appointment, go and look for secretariat, go check secretariat. How many of them covered? They are looking for their children to be in better place, but the common children in the village is suffering. God will rescue, help us in this nation, and God will destroy their image politicians in this country. Thank you very much. I have a nice day.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Let's move on to the next one here. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Abdul calling from Suleja, Niger State.
All right, Abdul, we can hear you.
My greetings go to UD wherever you are. My greetings to all the callers and listeners on this beautiful radio, especially my friend Salasu.
Thank you.
Yesterday I called, but unfortunately you didn't pick my call.
I'm sorry.
The issue of NDLEA, I want you to ring a bell for them, even yesterday. Unfortunately, you didn't pick. NDLEA is doing a nice job in this country. The NDLEA, they are really performing well. But as I normally say on this our beautiful radio, the welfare of NDLEA should be catered for. They like in Suleja here, they only have one vehicle for patrol in doing their work, which is not enough. The government should do something about their welfare and their offices, whatever they use in working.
I can hear you.
You see, this WAEC issue is a good one that they suspended, because even the normal fee they pay before, some people cannot even pay it. And you are not increasing it. These are the things the government is supposed to be sponsoring. They're supposed to be sponsoring it, or maybe they should. I don't know what they are going to do about it. They should not increase this money because a lot of people cannot even pay it. The one
so you're saying it should come for free?
Yeah, if possible, it's free. It's even better, so that a lot of the poor children they can go to school. You see, it's not because of the payment. You see, some people they will go to up to SS3, reaching WAEC money. They will not be able to pay. They will drop out, which is not the best thing for this country. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. God bless you, dear friend.
All right, thank you very much, and God bless you too. On to the next one. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. All right, we can hear you. Good morning. Your name and location.
Okay, my name is Bibi Bless from Otako. How are you?
Bibi Blessing, I'm okay. You're
My
welcome.
color, where am I from? Where my drag, where my mistake? I'm not saying the big call, the one disembark.
No, they disembark. They did. Don't.
Because the one with your mouth, because they shoot you, man. I don't understand. That make up, I'll go collect after your mouth. I'll go collect that your receipt for you now. Come I greet our caller. My name is Bibi Bless from Otako. You see, what I want to talk, now to increase money now, be our government problem. But if they remember, say this the time when they go, when they write to work, they nobody increase money for the why it could be now. If they can bring that down for free, at least we go happy. The money is too much, but they will bring that down. But I want to ask you one question. These are our children where they will do for us. They no catch any Boko Haram at all. They say they kill our army. The day when they bury our army, now they will sue the children. They don't see anyone where they catch at all.
No, there are saying some people were arrested. Some people,
Arrested?
yes, they're saying 8 people were arrested. But I'm already thinking it's probably the families or the relatives of some of these people. Now they're also claiming some of the suspects were killed as well.
Okay, before you know now, we no go hear anything will happen for them. We always hear how many our soldiers they kill, but we never hear what how many Boko Haram where our army kill. So it's very unfortunately our president may do something. Now we go give order, even though we dey make mad, we no get the power, but we no go keep quiet or kill. Wetin supposed to do. President we have heart for Nigeria, may we make Nigeria better, do the needful, do the right thing, so that we make Nigeria happy with you. Now wetin I want to talk with that. Good morning, sir. This morning,
All right, thank you very much, BB Blessing, for your contributions. Just to remind you once again, you can check our Facebook. Yes, you can go drop your comments when it gets to that time. You know, I will definitely read out your comments on Facebook. So, Eagles FM Abuja. Go on Eagles FM Abuja. You'll see it there. You'll see the video. Drop your comment, like, share, and of course, drop your comment. Hello, good morning. Your name and location.
Yes, Omoti Obala.
Good morning to you, sir.
Ekaro. Good morning. How are you?
Very fine.
And thank you very much. You're on to Sammy Doda from Laska.
All right, Sammy, we can hear you.
Yeah, let me greet Bibi Blessing, Selassie, and all the wonderful callers of this wonderful station. May you continue to rise in the goal eye. Let me start with the issue of suspension of the WAEC fee. It's a good development. As an amount of money, we're yearly busy to sponsor the bill. Looking at the money being sponsored and being siphoned out of this country. And then the issue of Buhari, the remembrance of 1 year. May God Almighty continue to forgive him, rest in peace, rest in eternal dose. That's what we say. Because there's time to die. If you want, there's time to die. I can imagine people talking about the way you tackle that person is a wonderful one. We should have respect for the dead. We're all going to die one way or the other. Finally, I want to talk about the insecurity issue. And then I want to give kudos to the General Army for rescuing those children and their teachers. And those that died, to those in Askira in Borno, Kaduna, and recently Benue State. I believe that if the federal government or the Nigerian government already want to stop insurgency, I'm telling you honestly, my brother, without any sentiment, they can do it within 72 hours. Because
enjoy yourself and have a wonderful day as well. Alright, so so quickly, talking about that particular one, talking about the one that concerns, Makinde. Punch newspaper actually has this particular big story. Oyo abduction, presidency slams Makinde over demand for United Nations probe. Oyo abduction, presidency slams Makinde over demand for United probe. That's on page 2. As a presidency is saying Makinde is playing bizarre politics, weaponizing anything against the federal government. And this other writer says this isn't politics, or your abduction is too grave for local probe alone. Response Makinde. Bandits killed 2 teachers in captivity. Principal reveals. Federal government hands over victims to governor. Now the principal is saying it's not just one person that was killed. Someone else, another teacher, was also killed in the process. Alright, so quickly as it stands right now, let's get to the market. Let's go on a short break, and of course we will return and we will be right back to pick more calls. Don't touch your dial.
This infomercial.
Girl, your skin is glowing. What's your secret?
It's no secret, it's Gentle Touch Spa and Salon in Abuja. They gave me the best relaxing massage last weekend. I felt brand new.
Really? I've been needing that kind of pampering. Do they only do spa stuff?
Not at all. They do facials, body scrubs, waxing, and even natural hair treatments. I even got my braids done there, neat and classy. They also handle dreadlocks, wig revamping, hair coloring, gilly tying, manicure, pedicure, gel nails. Everything beauty in one place.
Wow, so it's like a full spa and salon in one?
Exactly. The vibe is luxurious, the staff are professional, and both men and women go there. Now the thing is, for every service you get at this spa, it's going to come with a generous discount. Once you experience it, you understand why it's called Gentle Touch.
I'm booking my session today.
Exactly. Please do that. And for you to book your session, call 080-9269-9269. Another number to reach out is 090-2410-6881. You can also visit them at number 2 Bolton Street, Sun City Estate, here in Abuja. Girl, go book that session. You will thank me later, because everyone deserves the gentle touch.
Gentle Touch Spa and Salon. Luxury for everybody.
Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, here to stay.
Baba, you know that election that is coming? I really need to win this one.
The gods can make that happen, but there are huge requirements.
Anything, Baba. I'm willing to do anything.
Well, you will need to bring 7 liters of palm wine, 7 buckets of snow, the intestine of a whale, and the tongue of a lion.
Baba, all these things will be hard to get, but no problem. I'll get them.
I almost forgot. The gods will also require your land at Hutu Prestige.
You mean that one that is being developed by IBM Properties? The one that brings polo, golf, cable cars, and many things to my doorstep? The gods must really be crazy, yo. You know what, Baba? I'd rather lose the election.
Oh, wait. Some things are simply too valuable to part with. A plot at Hutu Prestige is one of them. So hurry, call 0904 444 4411 or visit ibenproperties.com now to secure your plot in Hutu Prestige Mountain Resort, Polo Lake Resort, or Green City today.
Alright, welcome back, of course, and we're still here. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. You know, still talking about the stories from the Punch newspaper quickly. I talked about before we went on a short break. I talked about how presidency slams Makinde over the demand for United Nations investigations, into the kidnapping, the abduction of the students and teachers from Orire. We also have this one on page 22. Dangote dumps Naira, begins petrol sales in dollars. Dangote dumps Naira, begins petrol sales in dollars. All right, quickly, let's go back to the score before we go on our WhatsApp platform to get some messages and voice notes from there. Just one call from here. Hello.
Hello, Amati.
Yes, good morning. Name and location, sir.
Yeah, good morning once again.
Good morning.
We had
Sorry, who am I speaking with?
Sorry, what is my name?
Alright, please, just 30 seconds so we can pick another one.
Yes, school children and their teachers. Please, I want to beg Nigerians, please, we should stop paying ransom to all these criminals. Yes, it will make them to continue with the business, and it will encourage other Nigerians to join the business. How can Nigerians pay ransom to all these criminals?
But they didn't say they paid any ransom, especially for the release of those children. They are saying no ransom was paid.
Okay, in the rescue, how many criminals they are killed or they are arrested? That is stop that for Nigerians. We know what is happening. How can we carry our tax paying money to pay the terrorists? It's not good.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's pick another call because I called before. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Name and location.
My name is Salasi.
Selassie, you're welcome.
Yes, sir. And we want to talk about the security. Let me talk quickly. And I want to sincerely appreciate the people from the southwest. Even by hearing your name, Omoti Babanla, I in fact want to be associated with you guys because people from southwest really come up and talk about this insecurity. The same day they kidnapped the Oyo children, it was the same day they kidnapped people in Akira. Did you hear people coming up apart from the Senator Alain Dume? As I'm speaking to you, the people writing Wyatt in Lhasa, they kidnapped them. Did you hear any protest? But look at how the people of the southwest come out in mass. They show that, yeah, we are concerned about these children kidnapped and what is going on. They have been kidnapping people in Kano, Sokoto, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi. Did you hear their senator from those areas coming out and be talking? Honestly, I appreciate the people of Southeast and they should keep it up. And the people in captivity need to be reunited with their family. These are the things. Because this insecurity is so alarming. They should use the intelligence as they use in Oyo. They should equally use in the intelligence in Lhasa, in Accra, or in other parts of the country to show that the people have been rescued with their family and to be reunited with their family.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, and I appreciate as well. Let's go on the WhatsApp platform. Samuel from Kuje says, good morning to you, my brother Omoti Babanla. Congratulations and happy survival day. To see another new day alive and healthy. Great one there. Alright, according to Samuel Omoti, do you see why our educational system is going backward? How can a sensible government wake up in this harsh economy to increase examination fees for WAEC and NECO? How many of their children are schooling in this country, if I may ask? Thanks to God for the release of our children and their teachers, and may God comfort and console the families that lost their loved ones and the cost of this kidnapping saga in Oyo. Thank you, Omoti. From this particular one is from Ogenemano Austin Agwan Adamwana Komi Community in Nasarawa State. He says, different strokes for different folks. What would one remember late President Buhari for? I, for one, would only remember Buhari for his lopsided appointment, disregard for the rule of law, printing of over 23 trillion naira that led to higher inflation, worsening insecurity that he met it, misplaced priority on infrastructures like the construction of railway line to Niger Republic, concentration of infrastructure in Katsina State, worsening corruption situation in Nigeria than he met it. Impunity and favoritism rose to their peak during Buhari's tenure. I can go on and on. It's all about negative things that we experienced in Buhari's presidency. Least I forget, his tenure witnessed for the first time in Nigeria mass killings in Benue State, where hundreds of not thousands were killed and received mass burial during Governor Autumn as governor of the state. All right, that one is from Ogenemano Austin. All right, we have this voice note. Let's quickly listen to this particular voice note on WhatsApp. All right, I don't know. There's a particular issue from the WhatsApp there. In fact, we don't have much time anymore. But of course, when it's about 9 o'clock, we'll definitely get some of your messages and read them out. We'll also get some of your voice note also, and also read them out, because of course it's about time that we leave the studio right now. It's about time. And for you who sent a message on Facebook also, I'll definitely read that. So 9 o'clock, don't miss Eagles Outlook, because of course we'll be talking about the WAEC and the NECO fees reversal, and we'll also be having a guest to also talk about and have discussions on that particular topic. My name is Omotola Adeleke, also called Omoti Babanla. For now, enjoy the rest of your day.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello and welcome to yet another explosive conversation with you're shining better than you were before, and you're smiling even better now. Well, anyways, though, it feels good to see you again.
Thank you very much. Same here.
Have this conversation
Politics
today, right? Well, I'm going to ask,
arts and
very quick
entertainment,
sharp questions. Now,
faith-based
tell us more
programs,
about the Esther Organiru Foundation.
sports,
Hello, viewers.
celebrity
My name is
lifestyle,
OG, the CEO of Esther Organic
global news.
Foundation. Basically, the concept of Esther
Welcome to
Organic
Eagles
Foundation
TV
is
Abuja,
actually
giving you an audio-visual
purely on
experience you can
professional
count on.
level on health. When it comes to international training on a professional level, at the same time running our day-to-day facility on patient care, patient emergency, and also patients
Music,
with cardiovascular issues, and also
educational
treatment
programs,
of physio care,
politics,
physiotherapy care, and also physiotherapy
arts and entertainment,
training, international training, healthcare assistant training, phlebotomy, CSSD training, as is sterilizing, issue international accreditation.